Underwater follows the crew of a subterranean laboratory located 7 miles beneath sea level as they fight for survival in the face of a terrifying threat. So far, so alien. And honestly, Underwater is at its best when it's wearing its influences on its sleeve. But a lack of convictions and belief in the audience often makes the film feel weaker than the excellent and ambitious sci-fi that's come before. Exhibit A, the opening. We watch Kristen Stewart's Nora in the bathroom, the silence and weight of the water near tangible. The direction is interesting and tense, Stewart is electric, but just minutes in and moments before the inciting disaster strikes, we get a Blade Runner-esque voiceover which A, makes no sense, and B, takes away almost all of the power of the scene. The battle between atmosphere, ambiguity, and the need to handhold the audience sadly never achieves balance and quickly becomes one of Underwater's biggest flaws. With a reported $65 million budget, it's probably not surprising that director William Eubank wasn't encouraged to make something completely experimental. But those moments of quiet slickness and vast, expansive action within the confines of the underwater lab are where it really excels. Underwater does have a mostly impressive cast who are all incredibly fun to watch. Stewart is a ball of anxious energy as she faces near imminent death and destruction. Vincent Cassel shows off why he was a leading man for so long with a grizzled performance that works so well alongside Stewart that you kinda wish it was just a two-hander of the pair trying to fend off the inevitable. Jessica Henwick breaks out from the Marvel Netflix universe with Emily, who begins as slightly annoying but ends triumphantly. For an ensemble sci-fi that really relies on actors and their performances, it's a solid team, except for TJ Miller, whose role feels wildly out of place in an intimate sci-fi thriller. In fact, though Miller does nothing to elevate the role, it's really his character that's the problem. The bro-y dunce who probably doesn't read, makes bad jokes, and is ostensibly the comic relief is an overdone trope in science fiction horror, and here he weighs down every scene he's in, breaking any tension the film does manage to build and adding nothing to the journey.
What?
Speaking of that journey, Underwater definitely doesn't drag. Within 5 minutes, you're thrown wholly into the anxiety-inducing world of monster-filled deep-sea terror. But, as any horror fan knows, often what's in your imagination is far scarier than anything that can be crafted by someone else. Once the CGC monsters hunting the crew are unveiled, it becomes far more Pacific Rim than Alien, especially as much of the second and third act takes place in the ocean itself, which often looks more like cutscenes from a video game than a big-budget Hollywood film. Maybe that's what Eubank and company were going for, more of a big bombastic blockbuster with art house sensibilities. But it seems a shame as the practical sets, costumes, and cast really shine when that terrifying ambiguity and lack of obvious CG are centered during the first act.
Worst idea ever!
None of this is to say you won't enjoy Underwater. Stewart is an engaging and badass action lead, Cassel and Henwick are charming supporting stars, and overall it's an action-packed ride that will likely entertain you. But it feels like there was far more potential here for Underwater to be something really special. At moments, another film seems to sneak in, teasing you with its clarity of vision and weird quietness, with an understanding of the claustrophobia and isolation that makes the film's setup so scary. But that isn't the movie we got, which makes it hard to love this shallow yet fun popcorn film.
What was that?
Turn your lights off.
For more reviews, check out what we thought of The Grudge and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. And as always, be sure to follow and subscribe wherever you like to watch IGN.